guys, Ralph here. True Power Trumpet Fitness, and welcome to a wonderful Wednesday here in Connecticut. Life's good. Double season, beautiful weather. Double whammy, man. I'm ready to go. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Recipe for greatness, and guys, I am not being smug about this. This is literal. Guys, you do this, you will come out the other end great. Simple as that. Anyway, let's get to it. I've not played it today. Let's see what we got. Oh, my lordy, lordy, loo. Guys, double season Arbin, a recipe for greatness. Now, I'm going to lay it out for you. And guys, and if you don't do it, that's up to you. Mel Burrows used to say, Ace, I can tell you what to do it. But if you're going to screw it up, and he didn't say screw, he said the F word, that's on you. So anyway, here it is. When Maurice Andre entered the Paris Conservatory, he was screwing up. I'm taking for granted that it was evident at that time that he had all the talent in the world. Okay? The beautiful tone. I know he didn't have double C's at that time. He developed them later, and I'll explain that's part of it. But he did have, for whatever reason, the right chops. He absolutely did. Now, he couldn't teach it. He didn't know why he did it. He couldn't teach his own son to do it. He literally sent his own son to Jerry to teach him chops because he couldn't articulate it and tell him what to do. Okay? And that'll be painfully, obviously, in a minute. But for some reason, he just fell into it like Harry James or Horst Fisher. Right from the first time they picked up the trumpet, it was right. Now, you look at those beautiful chops. What else need to be said, right? Anyway, he was screwing up. He was screwing up. And Sabrish, who I guess was a real taskmaster, his teacher, all but kicked him out of the Paris Conservatory and took him aside and said, look, man, kid, you're blowing it. You have all the talent in the world to be a world-renowned player, but you're screwing up. Because he wasn't doing anything. He was just partying and goofing around. He was a peasant from the rural sections of France, and he came to the big city and, like all of us, took advantage of it, okay? But he went off. I don't know if he literally left school or not, but he took it upon himself. He was not with Sabrish until he got it together. And after a period of time, months, I'm thinking 6 months, all he did was practice Arbin. 5 hours a day, Arbin. Much of it, the characteristic studies. 1 through 14, all those little variations and themes and everything, right? Then you go back and do it again. All day long. Now, his chops were right, so he wasn't killing himself, and he just got better and better and better. He goes back to Sabrish, mon Dieu. Learned the concerti, and he was off to it. Now, guys, that is a recipe for success. It absolutely 100% is. My man, Vacchiano himself, said if you can play the Arbin book, he said really and truly play the Arbin. And he meant play it in all keys along with it. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Meant to play it in all keys. If you can play the Arbin book, he said you can play anything. And he opened up to the characteristic studies. He said, look, If you can play that, what else need him? What else need? You can play anything. Okay? Now, Vacchiano absolutely taught Miles Davis. Okay? And what did he do? Arbin in all keys. Everything was in all keys, was all transposition. And even though Miles had obviously had no thought whatsoever of becoming a classical player, he loved the keys because the keys translated into everything he was trying to do in jazz. Okay? So he was into it. The Arbin, you can play that, you can play anything. Now, I'm going to take it a step farther. If you can play it up an octave, you can be great. If you can play Arbin up an octave, there is nothing in this world you can't play. Now, we all know the highest note in Arbin is a high C. And if that's as high as you go, this day and age, you're going to be limited. Okay? But that is what Maurice Andre did. Tiny little C trumpet, and he learned, just went through the Arbin. In the French style, they played on C trumpet. Everything was in the key of C. Now, one little caveat for Andre about having the right setup. Arbin was the basis. Remember, it was French. Jean-Baptiste Arbin, right? Okay? And underneath each one of the articulations, if you go through your articulations, the multiple tongue, you have 2, 2, and coup, whatever, 2, 2. But when we say 2, 2, the tongue starts up behind the top teeth of the roof of the mouth. 2, which is wrong. Okay? When the French say 2, it's pronounced thu. That's what he got. That's what he got. Now, whether he got that from Savage or he got that from his father, I don't know. His father was a pretty good trumpet player as well. Maybe it just came from the French language. But he was right from day one. Now, if you are going to practice 4 or 5 hours a day on Arbin and your chops aren't right, you're just going to be ground to dust. You're going to be ground to bits. Okay? Just playing Arbin is not going to make you great. The chops have to make you great. Chops have to be there to make you great. Now, if all you can do is play double C's, then that's not going to make you great either. It takes the two of them. But here is the combination. Okay? You young guys, or old guys, depending on what you want. Okay? Get a decent mouthpiece from Jerry. I suggest the 1SB. The 1SS and 1SC are, guys are doing great. I suggest the 1SB. Get that from Jerry. Get the chops right. And you can do that using Arbin too, even before the chops are completely right. But when the chops are right, just lock yourself in a practice room at college or wherever for 4 years, 5 hours a day of Arbin. If the chops are right on a 1SB mouthpiece, and you will come out a great player. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Now, if you want to take a lesson with me or with Jerry or with somebody else along the way, knock yourself out. But if the chops are right and you can play that book correctly with a center of tone, pure, just like I did the other day, just like I did just there, with a full tone, you got it. You got it. Because after 4 years, if the chops are right, if you play like that, you are going to be able to play it up an octave. I guarantee if you play correctly, the Arbin book, for a period of time, it is just both ways. Double pedals up to double C's are just going to appear. That will make you great. Now remember, you don't need 4 or 5 hours a day. If all you want is double C's, you don't have to do that. You just have to get this, and you can do that with Clark or whatever, what you want. Okay? But if you want greatness, follow Vacchiano, follow Maurice, follow myself, and follow Jerry. Now, Ralph, why aren't you great? Back when I was 18 and practiced 4 or 5 hours a day, I did not have this. For debate's sake, I might just practice 2 hours a day. Just do an Arbin and see what happens after a month. I might. I don't have that much time to do it. So, We'll see. But anyway, guys, there's nothing there you can't do. Play the Arbin, you can play anything. Play the Arbin up an octave, and you can be great. Case closed. There's your recipe. And as Mel said, if you screw it up, Ace, that's on you. Love you all. Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power.
1, 2,